How's it going, everybody? My name is Philip, and today we're going to be learning about Botswana. This is Geography Now about Botswana. I've heard of Botswana, don't know where exactly it is in the map on the world, like which continent. I could take a guess, but it's going to be completely wrong, probably. I'd be a bit surprised. I want to say it's... It is new. That's the problem. I don't know. I want to say it's... See, I'm torn between Europe and Africa. But it could be wrong. I keep second guessing myself, and that's the biggest issue. Because I really want to say it's in Africa. Because I'm pretty sure it's not in Europe. Would it be in Asia? I don't think it would be in Asia. Would it be in Asia? I don't think so. I'm going to find out and be pleasantly surprised, or horrifically humiliated. But I'm excited to learn about Botswana. I love learning about countries, and I love learning about different cultures and whatnot. It's definitely why I started doing Geography Now. I kind of want to do these more frequently, like once a week. I don't know exactly which day. I was thinking like maybe Tuesdays. I know obviously this is not getting uploaded on a Tuesday. Or I could just make it all on Fridays. Just, do it that way. I don't know. But I've been wanting to do a lot more Geography Now. There's a lot of countries out there that I know absolutely nothing about. Especially Botswana. So, I think Fridays, West Coast, California, United States time, days, because, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just getting out of pocket here. So let's learn about Botswana and see what's up.
Bling bling, welcome to Diamond Town, Africa.
Africa!
It's
okay.
Geography.
I was
Hey everybody, I'm your host, Paul
leaning in the
Barbado.
right
If there
direction.
was ever an African comeback kid, Botswana would definitely fit that title. But first, you know the drill. Let's dissect the flag.
I saw that the flag in the thumbnail.
The flag is pretty simple. It has a blue field
like
cut
it.
horizontally by a black stripe with a white frame. The blue represents water, or more specifically rain, as it is a precious resource the country relies on and sustains life of the country. The black and white frame also has two meanings. The first one being that Botswana is a country of diverse cooperation between people of different races that work in harmony, and the second that it represents the stripes of a zebra. Easy. Moving on.
I love zebras.
Botswana's location is kind of serendipitous in that for the longest time, they didn't even realize that they were sitting on buried treasure. First of all, Botswana is located in the southern area of the African continent, about the same size as France, and is bordered by 4 other countries. Looking at the map, you would think Botswana is only bordered by Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe, but if you look very close at the northeastern tip where the Chobe River meets the Zambezi, you see the Zambezi quadrupoint in which all 4 countries meet. This spot has the ever so narrowest of borders, only a few dozen meters wide, that Botswana has with Zambia on the Zambezi River. This area is right on the A33 road that takes you to the Kazungula ferry, the only place in all of Botswana that gives you access to Zambia directly from Botswana. This is also the only part of Botswana that touches the world-famous Zambezi River, which has been historically used for centuries for navigating across the African savannas. It's kind of funny though, because when drawing the borders, they probably could have taken more, but Namibia was like, oh hell no, I'm gonna go get me some of that Zambezi, y'all. Look at me, I got this dry skeleton coast, I needs my hydrations. Botswana's capital and largest city is Gaborone. If you speak Setswana, it's pronounced Gaborone. Located close to the border of South Africa, and the country is divided into 9 districts. With the exception of Namibia's straight and quite frankly very distinct and noticeably well-marked border with Botswana, the Caprivi Strip, most of the borders are rivers, like the Chobe, Limpopo, the Shashe, which by the way, in the very east, Zimbabwe was like, look, I know we're using this river as a border, but I'm just gonna draw a radius around the station of Tuli, and everything in that circle is mine to use as a wildlife reserve, even if it does cross the river. Okay, a wildlife reserve. Okay, you can have it, Zimbabwe. Otherwise, Botswana is pretty open and free. As the 3rd least densely populated country in Africa, it's a haven for nature and safari enthusiasts. Ooh, good opportunity to transition.
Cool.
Botswana doesn't just have a bunch of open land, but also a bunch of exceptionally unique land, unlike anywhere else in Africa.
Okay, so one thing because I meant to pause it right here. This right here looks really kind of cool. It looks like tree roots, or like a tree that's fallen down or something. Like what is, I'm sure he's gonna say what exactly this is, but is that like a river or a lake or something? Again, I'm sure he's gonna say what it is. But anyways, I just think I've been looking at that ever since. I just kind of noticed it. That's also interesting, but that really catches my attention more than this area. That's kind of cool.
A bunch of open land, but also a bunch of, except 70% of the country is dominated by the semi-arid Kalahari Desert and dry savannas, especially in the west part of the country, whereas the east and the north parts are generally greener. In the far north and the northwest district, you have one of the strangest natural phenomena, the Okavango Delta. Now, if you've heard of this place, contrary to what you may have been told, this is not actually the world's largest inland delta. There are two others that pass it in Mali and Sudan. However, this world-renowned UNESCO heritage site sticks out because of the way how the delta operates. Basically, the Okavango River meanders into geological faults that, in response, spread the waters out into a vast network of channels, creeks, and wetlands. Now, here's the thing. Every year, rainwater from the highlands of Angola come down and surge into the Okavango, causing the entire flood basin to swell up to 3 times its permanent size between March and June. For the next few months, the entire area becomes this weird, shallow, swampy wetland with an abundance of wildlife that flourishes in it. In fact, one of the strangest things about this area is that it is one of the few places where you will find animals that, contrary to their cousins in the other areas, have completely adapted to the hydrated landscape. You can see swimming cheetahs, lions, and even hyenas fully acclimated to the conditions that surround them.
That's
Nothing
so cool.
is scarier than knowing that a cheetah can swim after you. Finally, at the latter months of the year, the Okavango dries up again, and about 60% of it is absorbed by plants, over 30% is evaporated, and the rest is either transpired into underground aquifers or drained into Lake Nyami. Now, granted, Botswana is dealing heavily with drought and desertification in their country and is trying to combat it with legislative action. To the east, you have the even stranger Makadi-Gadi and Suapans, which are 2 large salt basins, just like Salar de Uyuni that we learned 2 episodes ago. Remember? This area used to be a lake that eventually dried up and is actually the site of Botswana's largest salt and sodium carbonate mines. If you look closely, you can even see the mines close to the eastern edge of the basin. No, those green rectangles are not crop fields. Those are actually well fields and solar evaporation ponds filled with water that are used to process and calcify the minerals in the mines. Speaking of mines, since the 1980s, Botswana has actually been the world's largest producer of gem diamonds. 5 diamond mines have opened up since independence, and the world's richest diamond mine is found in Jwaneng. The diamond industry has actually played a huge role in the past and in today in the development of the economy and people's lives. Now let's talk about that.
So just because knowing that they have a huge diamond mine and whatnot, you would think that would really be a huge part of their economy, right? Like their GDP would be through the roof for that, or is a lot of it blood diamonds? People keep saying stuff about blood diamonds here and blah blah blah, and so I don't know where exactly we get blood diamonds from, or people would get blood diamonds from, or. Yeah. Sure,
Botswana is kind of like the place that you would be proud of if it was your little adopted African son. Unless if you were Africans can adopt Africans too. You would be proud of it if it was your son. First of all, Botswana has just a little bit over 2 million people, the majority of whom, about 80%, identify as ethnically Tswana, which is also where Botswana gets its name from, Botswana. Other minority groups include the Kalanga, the Basarwa, the Kgalagadi, and a small percentage of the population is also white, mostly descendants from former English and European settlers during the colonial days. Actually, recently, there's been a huge influx of white people moving into Botswana from neighboring Zimbabwe, as the president Robert Mugabe, if you could even call him a president, much less a 3-decade-long dictator, has instituted laws that actively discriminate and oppress the white minority, unless if you are like super talented, like Christy Coventry, who won 7 Olympic medals, including 2 golds for Zimbabwe in the 2004 and 2008 Olympics, and Mugabe called her a daughter of Zimbabwe and gave her $100,000. Oh, sorry, back to Botswana. Essentially, pretty much everybody in the country speaks English. The Tswana people might speak Tswana or Setswana, and many of the white people might speak Afrikaans as well as a second language. For those of you who don't know, by the way, Afrikaans is kind of like an Africanized Dutch. Long story short, Botswana used to be part of the British Empire under the name of Bechuanaland. Okay, let's just get it over with and get the pun out because I know you'll go crazy if I don't. Bechuanaland in Bechuanaland. There, are you happy now?
Okay.
Moving on.
I thought he was going to say like, bitch, wanna. Yeah. That's what I thought. This is a great point to pause on, but yeah. That's what I thought he was going to say. But okay. Keeps it a little PG. I get you.
Interesting thing though is that Botswana actually has very fascinating tribal groups found along the rural areas of the country. One of the most sought after people groups for studies by sociologists would have to be the San Bushmen found in the northern regions by the Okavango Delta.
Nice.
The San Bushmen people speak a Khoisan language which is saturated with these unique click sounds. Many dialects can even have up to 48 different click consonant sounds. The country operates in a democratic parliamentary republic with a president as a head of state. In fact, according to Transparency International, Botswana actually has the least corrupt government in all of Africa, on par with countries like Portugal and South Korea. Culturally,
Nice.
Botswana identifies closely with other countries in the South African region. About 70% of the people identify as Christian, and regular church attendance is actually pretty high. The rest are either non-religious or ascribe to folk religions. Essentially, though, Botswana used to be one of the poorest countries, but today has developed a steady economy and infrastructure that has made it into the 4th largest GDP in all of Africa, on par with countries like Mexico and Turkey. This is partially thanks to the mining industry, but also to the new financial sector that Botswana is heavily investing in. With strong fiscal policies and free market enterprises, Botswana was able to nab over $7 billion in foreign exchange reserves just about 10 years ago. Today, Botswana has Africa's highest credit rating, and with a well-capitalized system which allows high interest rates, Botswana seems to be doing something incredibly right. I'm coming for you, Switzerland! Wow, Botswana, looks like you've stepped into the international limelight. Now let's see how that's going for you.
That's kind of cool, though.
Now, when it comes to friends, Botswana kind of has like this weird seesaw effect in which they like groups of people that typically don't like each other. First off, we have Russia and the US. The US is not only a huge partner with multiple embassies and consulates for each side, but so far is also the largest provider of aid in medical relief, and especially in the HIV and AIDS division amongst the residents. Peace Corps professionals consistently stop by and even help build facilities, as well as develop and train native Botswanans to tackle the issue. Nonetheless, Russia is actually seen as a little bit more favorable to the Botswanans. Russia swooped right in shortly after independence and was one of the first countries to acknowledge Botswana as a nation, just like they did with Angola and Benin. Are you kind of seeing a pattern going on here? They hit it off really well early in the game. Russia maintains numerous trade policies and educational cooperation agreements with them, and to this day each side has embassies and consulates. Botswana was kind of seen by Russia as like a potential breeding ground for communist ideologies. However, unlike Angola and Benin, the whole thing never really kicked off, and eventually they became a democratic republic, but still maintained good relations, and to this day, Botswana is one of the countries that Russians do not require a visa to enter. Then you have Israel and Pakistan. Pakistan has been a favored business partner and has built ties with Botswana for years, and even has overseas embassies in Beijing and Yemen for each other. However, Israel also has cooperation agreements and invests heavily in the irrigation sector to help Botswana fight its desertification problem by suggesting models that have worked for their own country. Israel is also facilitating the development of the Botswana International University of Science and Technology. Finally, you have what Botswana would consider their best friends, Namibia and South Africa. These three countries go way back. First, South Africa used to have some drama with Botswana, but today is really close and has signed numerous agreements in tax, agriculture, health, transport, and more. A huge portion of the Botswanan economy is dependent on South Africa, and culturally they resonate pretty close as they were both parts of the British Empire. Namibia, though, is really close to Botswana too, but remember, Namibia kind of broke away and became independent from South Africa. So here we have a country and another country that used to be part of that country being friends with this country. It's kind of like going to a party and realizing your ex-wife is there. Nah, but relations between South Africa and Namibia are fine. Soon after Namibia's independence, Botswana was one of the first countries to shake hands and sign treaties. The only issue is that Namibia once scared the crap out of Botswana because they almost planned on deferring the water from the Okavango River away from the basin to help irrigate their land, which would destroy the whole delta. Luckily, the plans were diverted. In conclusion, Botswana is like the little African country that accidentally got blessed and then ran with it. Stay tuned, Brazil is coming up next.
Nice. I like that. So it's really cool to see that they're doing something with what they're given. I feel like a lot of people, not just countries, but a lot of people in themselves tend to, whether it's just get too greedy. I feel like it would have been very easy for Botswana to definitely, it's like, oh, we got a lot of diamonds, and then have been like, nah, you got to pay and get very greedy and or kind of get corrupt. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It's like a nice little breath of fresh air to know that not everyone are assholes. Because if that happened here in the U.S., where all of a sudden we found a diamond mine here, Oh, I don't even want to imagine what would happen. Oh my god. People would lose their, it would be all bad. Maybe diamond rings would go down, or maybe they would literally decide to start being like, yo, someone's gonna monopolize that fucking mine, and then everyone's gonna be like, yo, what the hell? And then we're gonna get another Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk person coming out, be like, I'm gonna buy all the bathrooms, and you gotta pay to use the bathrooms, because that's just how we are here in the U.S. apparently. So it's really nice to know that politically, y'all are not corrupt, or one of the more least corrupt countries. It's also, I was actually kind of hoping to see some food stuff. Okay, that's the one thing I was kind of hoping for, out of everything. I'm glad that I knew it wasn't in Russia. I mean, I knew it wasn't in Europe. Listen, okay, the thing is, I don't know much about the African continent. Okay, all I know is about like Egypt at the very top, like right near, the little, yeah, and then South Africa. Those were really the only two. Oh, okay, and Nigeria. I've heard about Nigeria. I don't know anything about Nigeria. I just know that it's in Africa, because that's my knowledge of the African continent. But yeah, so like I said, it's really cool that even after being blessed with finding a diamond mine, which is dope, in your country, or multiple diamond mines actually, that you're still being cool with people, and you're not being assholes or being corrupt. So that's actually kind of cool. I didn't see many big cities. Like, he didn't show many pictures, so I guess I could look some of it up. But it looks kind of cool. I like it. Again, and I love the flag. When originally I saw the flag, and after he mentioned diamonds, I was like, well, diamonds are also blue, so one side could be diamonds, the other side could be the water, and then you could still have the regular black and white stripe, Which, again, I love zebras. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what other countries I should react to. I don't really have any idea of what other countries I should do next. Like, I would like to do Austria. I think that would be really cool. There's another video right here, Botswana and African Jewel. That one's 33 minutes long. I could do that, which would be kind of cool. But let me know what else I should react to in the comment section below. I think I was going to do Austria next, or instead of Botswana, but someone mentioned that I should react to Botswana, so I decided, since someone actually typed it down in the comments, and requested it, I'll do this one first. And so if there's no other initial requests, then I might just do Austria, I think, or something else. But let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe for more content just like this. I'm going to try and get back into recording some videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.